ready yet. Set the light up. Oh. Oh. Still popping up in my eye. Oh. Boy, get out of here, boy. You crazy. Get out of here. Okay, look at me. God evening, everybody. Live stream. I got that. That's it. That's all I got to say. Okay. God evening. Good evening. However you want to put that. If you could see it, it's also a U or two O's. However you see that heart, but you know what it is. Thank y'all for stopping by. All right, so I actually got some tasks at hand. I don't know which one of those I'm going to get to immediately, but I'm going to try. Let's see. First off, I'm definitely going to get to this music. As you see, I already got that thing queued up. But I really, yeah, that's actually what I'm going to go ahead and do. What is this? See if I can, something interesting. Oh yeah. How y'all doing? Y'all good? Y'all had a good evening, a good week? Hopefully so. See, I don't even want to see nothing like that.
What's up?
It's like my kid.
Can I help?
She want a lizard. It's her.
What you need?
Okay. Well, I'm done. I'm clocking out already. That boy look high hell, huh? His lizard is stone, boy.
Good. All right.
Whoa. See? My algorithm be having crazy.
Are you guys getting on this?
Maybe.
Come get on this.
Okay.
What are you a
at
singer?
home?
Well, we're in grad school.
Already
for music
song.
therapy.
Oh, music therapy? Oh, that's fire. But you sing too?
Yes.
What do you like to sing to?
I like to sing, like, do you know Hiatus Coyote?
Oh yeah, that music is like pretty insane though.
Yeah, it is pretty insane. But like neo soul, jazz, like that kind of stuff.
Can I make you a beat and you'll sing?
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
Walking on this Sunday night, I can see the morning lights. Get so cold in the soul. No matter where I go or where you're from, you spread the love.
I spread the love,
Spread the love.
Yeah.
spread the love.
Spread the love.
I don't know where it's from or where it goes, but I spread it, don't you know? I spread the love. Yeah, I gotta spread of love where I'm walking and sprouting all the trees and the flowers quick blossom. Put a little rain on and let it grow. I put my work in and I let it show.
When you see me, do you see your reflection?
Chords in the background, added progression. Give that attention. This is the lesson. Spread the love. I don't know where it's from or where it.
Are you guys getting on this?
Yeah, see? I'm what I'm saying, man. He be jamming. Did I get that like?
Are you
Did I
guys getting
get
on
that
this?
like?
Are you guys getting on this? Come get on this.
I had to make sure I gave up that like, man. We don't do that though. We don't not hit the like button. Well, y'all kids don't know nothing about that Excite bike.
Hello class and welcome to this Excite Bike NES walkthrough right here on Video Games 101 by way of Let's Play with Brigands. I'm your instructor, Professor Brigands, and we've got some tips for you today for Excite Bike on how to
Said tips.
essentially get through the 5 races with opponents, of course. Mode B is the only way to live,
Excuse
but
me.
by the end of this class, I dare say you'll be better than this CPU display driver when it comes to... Oh yeah, you'll definitely be better than them. But in terms of difficulty, I mean, it's really what you make out of it in this
Y'all
game.
don't know nothing about no Excite
The
bike,
contrast on the track, it's like difficult to see the lines. Thankfully, there's only 4 positions every bike can be in, but yeah, it's just kind of nasty on the eyes. But far and away the most difficult track. I already missed the strip. You can have a perfect run of this, meaning no crashes and a pretty decent time, and still not win, but we'll see what happens. As we're trying our best here, let's throw it to Fluff. I'm going to stay on the bottom because of the zip
Well,
strip.
you have to-
And
you
get
have to
one
land
last
them lanes.
Fluff fact
You'd have to
about
angle that
Excite
thing
Bike.
right
What do you
there.
got, Fluff?
I only mention this one because the professor is playing through The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask over on Let's Play with Brigands. But there's a subtle reference to Excite Bike when taking Keaton's quiz. Whenever correctly answering one of his questions, the pause sound from Excite Bike will play.
Good call, yeah. Enjoying that game quite a bit. My first full playthrough. I'm not sure this is going to happen. You can always tell when you're not at the mud part at the end, that last little straightaway. And, you know, you still
Well,
have
this is low
10
key
or so seconds.
interesting as hell.
We get in 3rd or better. That's still a win, as long as you're on the podium. Oh my god. 18 100ths of a second. Just made it. That's a victory as far as I'm concerned.
I
You
ain't
can see
heard
how
that
far
music
off
in
we
a long
were
time.
with the best time. 7 seconds, and that was the ride of my life, essentially. So
Yeah, I ain't finna watch another one, but that was that thing.
Demolition
Y'all remember
Man
this?
wasn't just action. It was prophecy wrapped in neon satire. But behind the
Yeah,
cryo
it was.
cop and the chaos, it was survival in a future too strange
And
to
the 3
fake. A lawsuit
seashells.
that blindsided Hollywood. Bullock's throwaway line that became her future. And jokes that aged into warnings. These are 20 weird facts about Demolition Man. And hidden inside the shells and the skyscrapers, first Van Damme versus Seagal, then Stallone versus Snipes. Number 1. Before Stallone ever froze as John Spartan, Warner Brothers imagined a very different fight. The studio wanted an all-martial arts showdown, pairing Jean-Claude Van Damme against Steven Seagal. But both action stars refused. Neither would agree to play the villain. Stallone stepped in, eager to anchor a futuristic cop story, and immediately pushed for Jackie Chan as Simon Phoenix. Chan was intrigued, but his Chinese fanbase loathed seeing him cast as evil, so he declined. That opened the door for Wesley Snipes, who embraced Phoenix's anarchic madness. He
Never
bleached
knew
his
that.
hair blonde, a look he hated so much he shaved it off the second filming wrapped, and turned the villain into a manic, gleeful engine of chaos. What began as a martial arts fantasy ended up as a gladiatorial clash of personalities. Stallone's stoic intensity colliding with Snipes' unhinged energy. Number
Yeah, it
2.
was
Before
fire.
Sandra Bullock became the wide-eyed, futuristic cop Lenina
Right.
Huxley, the role actually belonged to Lori Petty, fresh off Point Break and Tank Girl. Petty lasted just 2 days on set before creative clashes ended her run. The production scrambled, desperate for someone who could balance Stallone's granite seriousness and and Snipes' wild energy with warmth and comic timing. Enter Sandra Bullock. She was still a rising actress, better known for small roles, but her charm instantly reshaped the character. Suddenly, Huxley wasn't just a sidekick, she became the film's heart, a bridge between chaos and idealism. Just months later, Bullock would headline Speed, launching her into superstardom. Looking back, it feels like Demolition Man didn't just save a troubled role, it accidentally introduced one of the biggest stars of the Number 3. 1993 wasn't just busy for Sylvester Stallone, it was punishing. Demolition Man and Cliffhanger overlapped so much that Stallone was doing interviews about scaling icy peaks while still wearing John Spartan's futuristic uniform. He'd wrap an action sequence in San Angeles, then dash off to promote himself dangling over the Alps. The grind was brutal. Sleepless flights, back-to-back call sheets, and no time to breathe. But the gamble worked. Within a single year, Stallone went from reinventing the action hero in a neon satire to clinging off cliffs in one of the decade's most intense thrillers. For a surreal moment in Hollywood history, he wasn't just the face of one blockbuster. He was the blockbuster, carrying two very different worlds on his shoulders at the same time. Number 4. On set, Wesley Snipes was a blur. Years of martial arts training gave him explosive speed, but when he unleashed it for Demolition Man, the cameras couldn't keep up. His kicks and punches were so quick they registered as a smear on film, leaving the fight coordinators frustrated and the editors with nothing to cut to. The solution was almost ironic. Snipes had to slow himself down, pulling strikes in half speed just so the audience could actually see them. Even then, his fluid motion gave Simon Phoenix a feral, unpredictable edge, as if he was always one step faster than the future cops chasing him. What might have been a technical headache ended up becoming part of his character, a villain who didn't just outsmart the system, but seemed to outrun the very lens trying to capture him. Number 5. Demolition Man almost had a hidden heartbeat, John Spartan's daughter. Early drafts and even filmed scenes revealed that she had survived the cryo years, grown up, and joined the underground resistance. At one point, Spartan was even meant to reunite with her during the Wasteland sequences. She appears briefly as an extra in one cut, a ghost of the storyline that was. But when the studio screened it, the subplot dragged, bogging down the action with too much sentiment. So the editors sliced it away completely. Fans later noticed the dangling threads, especially the awkward chemistry between Spartan and Huxley, sparking a persistent fan theory that she was secretly his daughter. It wasn't true, but the absence of answers gave the myth its power. What could have been a heartfelt arc ended up as one of cinema's strangest what-ifs, a family reunion erased by the blade of pacing. Number 6. Buried beneath all the explosions and satire was a shadow of a lawsuit that never quite happened. In the mid-1980s, a Hungarian author named István Nemere published Fight of the Dead, a sci-fi novel about enemies cryogenically frozen and revived in a pacifist future where violence was outlawed. When Demolition Man hit theaters, Nemere was stunned at the similarities. Criminals encased in ice, thawed into a sanitized society, and chaos erupting when brutality returned. He went public with the claim that Hollywood had stolen his story, but taking on Warner Brothers was no small feat. Nemere admitted he couldn't afford the legal war, and without international copyright enforcement, the case fizzled before it ever reached a courtroom. Still, Hungarian media ran with the accusation, and fans of the novel whispered that the blockbuster's premise wasn't entirely original. Today, Fight of the Dead is remembered mainly because of Demolition Man's success. A curious footnote where a little-known Eastern European novel briefly collided with Hollywood spectacle, leaving behind one of sci-fi cinema's strangest what-if controversies. Number 7. At first, Demolition Man was shaping up to be something sly, a darkly comic piece of social satire with more bite than boom. The early drafts leaned heavier on irony than action, poking fun at political correctness and corporate creep with a sharp wink. But once producer Joel Silver came aboard, subtlety didn't stand a chance. Silver, the architect of Lethal Weapon and Die Hard, believed audiences came for spectacle, not nuance. He tore through Fred Decker's quieter draft and demanded constant momentum, bigger explosions, louder shootouts, and one outrageous set piece after another. Under his watch, every scene was designed to top the last. The satire stayed, but it was wrapped in a Stallone-sized action circus, paced like a roller coaster that never slowed down. For Silver, story always came second to energy, and the result was a film that felt like controlled chaos. Critics rolled their eyes, but fans embraced it. The very excess that worried some writers became the film's defining stamp, proof that in 90s Hollywood, Joel Silver didn't just produce movies, he detonated them. Number 8. On screen, San Angeles looked like a gleaming city of the future, spotless towers, endless freeways, and a landscape scrubbed of history. But it wasn't a CGI wonderland, it was Irvine, California. Producers originally dreamed of filming in San Diego and San Francisco, but the budget crushed those plans. So they turned to Orange County, where 1970s and 80s architecture had already built a strangely futuristic aesthetic. Stark glass offices, wide streets, and no trace of old world character. It worked perfectly for a story set after a massive earthquake had rebuilt civilization. The blank, almost too perfect skyline gave San Angeles an uncanny feel, a future that was both real and unsettling. Watching Demolition Man now, you're not looking at sets or models. You're seeing the real suburbs of Irvine, a city that accidentally looked like tomorrow long before Hollywood arrived to film it. Number 9. The sleek vehicles gliding through San Angeles weren't movie props cobbled together by the art department. They were real prototypes loaned straight from General Motors. The crown jewel was the GM Ultralight, a futuristic concept car so rare that only one fully functional version existed. For Demolition Man, GM built additional non-driving shells just to fill out the streets. Their lightweight carbon fiber bodies and bubble-shaped designs made them look like alien technology dropped into a Stallone film. On screen, they became the perfect backdrop to a sanitized future where even car crashes looked stylish. Off-screen, they were the most expensive rentals in Hollywood, guarded like museum pieces and carefully maneuvered between takes. Long before Tesla or self-driving hype, these prototypes gave audiences a glimpse of a future that never quite arrived, except in the world of Demolition Man. Number 10. In the US, Demolition Man declared Taco Bell the lone survivor of the franchise wars. Audiences laughed at the absurdity of tuxedo dinners served under a neon bell. But when the movie shipped overseas, international distributors worried that most viewers had never even heard of Taco Bell. The solution? Rewrite reality. In Europe, Asia, and parts of South America, every reference and logo was swapped for Pizza Hut, another chain owned by the same parent company. That meant crews had to film 2 sets of inserts, one with Taco Bell branding and another with Pizza Hut signage seamlessly edited in. Fans who later compared VHS tapes or DVD imports discovered 2 parallel timelines, one where Stallone dined on tacos, another where he twirled pasta under Pizza Hut chandeliers. In a movie obsessed with fractured realities, this corporate edit accidentally created one of its weirdest. Number 11. The pounding theme of Demolition Man didn't begin in a studio built for Hollywood spectacle. It started a decade earlier in a smoky rehearsal room with the Police. In 1981, Sting wrote and recorded Demolition Man as a snarling reggae punk track for the band, later handing it off to Grace Jones, who turned it into a ferocious, swaggering anthem of her own. By the time Stallone was chasing Wesley Snipes through the rubble of San Angeles, the song was already a cult artifact of the new wave era. Rather than commission something new, Warner Brothers went retro. Sting re-recorded Demolition Man as a solo cut for the film's soundtrack, this time slower, heavier, and pulsing with menace. It gave the movie an extra layer of irony, a futuristic satire about control and chaos built on a song born in the anarchic early 80s. What started as a political punk snarl became the unlikely anthem of a dystopian blockbuster. For fans, it wasn't just background music. It was proof that even old songs can find new lives, reshaped by the future. Number 12. When Demolition Man hit theaters in Kuwait, audiences weren't lining up to see John Spartan, at least not under that name. Local distributors decided Stallone's Rambo brand carried more weight, so they rebranded the film Rambo the Destroyer. Imagine expecting jungle warfare and guerrilla combat, only to be dropped into cryo prisons, Taco Bell dinners, and the mystery of 3 seashells. The title switch was pure marketing opportunism, but it worked. Tickets sold fast on the strength of Rambo's legacy. For Stallone, it created an accidental alternate timeline where his Vietnam vet had somehow leapt into the future to battle Wesley Snipes. Fans still joke about wanting to see that crossover for real. Rambo with laser rifles and armored police cars. Instead, what Kuwait got was a bizarre mashup. A cop satire dressed in the skin of an action franchise that had nothing to do with it. Number 13. Demolition Man didn't just launch Sandra Bullock's career, it seemed to map it out in advance. In one scene, as cops debate thawing John Spartan, a tiny model bus sits in the background. A year later, Bullock was behind the wheel of a speeding bus in Speed, the role that made her a star. The coincidences didn't stop there. In the film's sanitized fast food future, every restaurant is Taco Bell, years before Bullock won an Oscar in The Blind Side, playing the wife of a man who built his fortune running Taco Bell franchises. It's as if her career was hiding in plain sight, foreshadowed in the rubble of a sci-fi satire. Viewers thought they were watching a quirky sidekick cop, but the movie was quietly hinting at the powerhouse Bullock was about to become. In hindsight, Demolition Man didn't just predict a dystopian future, it predicted Sandra Bullock's. Number 14. Demolition Man was rated R. Blood, profanity, decapitations. Exactly the kind of movie kids weren't supposed to watch. And yet, Mattel rolled out a full toy line as if it were the next Saturday morning cartoon. Spartan and Phoenix became plastic heroes, complete with spring-loaded weapons, detachable armor. Parents were baffled. The irony went deeper. Many of the figures were recycled molds from The New Adventures of He-Man, So kids unknowingly staged battles where Stallone's future cop shared his muscles and armor with an old space-age He-Man toy. It was corporate marketing at its most bizarre, a violent satire of consumerism turned into literal children's merchandise. For a film warning about overbearing corporations, the strangest twist was that it ended up selling itself straight to the toy aisle. Number 15. The movie may have ended with Spartan thawed and Phoenix frozen for good, but the story didn't stop there. DC Comics jumped in with a 4-issue Demolition Man miniseries, diving deeper into San Angeles, its crime-ridden wastelands, and even side stories for the rebels. The tone was pulp sci-fi madness, part social satire, part action serial. Then came acclaimed video game for the SNES and Sega Genesis, which seemed designed to confuse. Levels switched mid-mission from side-scrolling shooter to overhead maze without warning, leaving players whiplashed. Critics trashed it. But for kids of the 90s, it was still a chance to blast through Spartan's world with a controller in hand. Together, the comics and games turned the film from a 2-hour spectacle into a tiny chaotic franchise, one that lived on in panels and pixels long after the credits rolled. Number 16. For 3 decades, fans have obsessed over Demolition Man's strangest gag, the 3 seashells in the bathroom. No one in the film explains how they're used, leaving Spartan and the audience baffled. Screenwriter Daniel Waters later revealed the idea came from a friend who kept seashells in his own bathroom purely as decoration. Waters thought it looked futuristic, so he tossed it in as a joke. Since then, theories have spiraled. Some claim 2 shells are for scraping, 1 for polishing. Stallone himself once suggested they worked like primitive bidets.
How did the 3 seashells work? Without getting too gross, imagine how chopsticks work. Use your imagination for that.
The mystery became a running punchline in interviews, fan forums, even cosplay displays at conventions. What began as a random set dressing suggestion grew into one of sci-fi cinema's most enduring riddles, proof that sometimes the silliest details outlive the explosions. Number 17. Sylvester Stallone,
what was the answer?
The silliest grew into one of sci-fi cinema's most what began as a random set dressing suggestion grew into one of sci-fi cinema's most enduring riddles, proof that sometimes the silliest details outlive the explosions. Number 17. Sylvester Stallone may have been battling Simon.
Okay. See, that was, I had wanted to know. Bye. Sheesh me. Time to get to it for real. How we got there? How we got there, buddy? What mode do we need? What are we looking for here? Like, what is the goal? Zeg weer wel eens. Nee, I don't know what to. Alright, I need something to be playing in the background. I ain't into that. That's all what I was figuring out what I was doing right there. Almost. Kind of like this tone. Kind of. A little bit. Let's see. I had to find the key I was gonna be in when I was like this.
What, baby?
It's kind of cool. I mean, that ain't really what I wanted anyway. I'm just tired of. I don't know what the hell that was. I mean, I thought it was cool. Practice standing up. Fucking around. Start from scratch. Don't save it. It need to be saved. That sounds interesting. Nigga out here making some old and running into the forest type shit. Yeah. Hmm. Mm-hmm. That shit sounds spooky. I can't get that the match. I'm sure I'm overlooking it. I'm sure I'm overlooking in the sink. Should say 120, man. I was just trying to hear some shit. I actually like that sound. That was a thing. What the heck did that just turn that into, Shutter? Oh my goodness. About it. What? She said, what is this? The 90s? Shit drunk. Let's do it manually. And beat it hard. This is why I need a machine, man. Man, let go, bro. What's wrong with you? Oh my god. Why would it even do that? They're separate. Watch that, deleted that shit. Okay. Whew. shit out eventually, some way, somehow. I need a moment though, cause boy, and then quick it was like, hey, there go me. I was like, all right, so why the heck would I do that? You back.
Let me tell you something strange about silence in the digital age. We live in a world where almost everything is shared. Birthdays, coffee cups, sunsets, tears, laughter, even pain dressed up with filters. Yet, some people stay completely invisible. They scroll quietly, observe deeply, but rarely, if ever, post. You might even know someone like that. Maybe you are someone like that. And here's the question that always lingers in people's minds. Why? Why would someone choose to stay unseen when the whole world seems to be shouting for attention? It's easy to assume that people who don't post are simply shy or introverted, but that's not the full picture. Beneath the surface, there's an entire psychology at play, one that speaks volumes about human nature, self-perception, and the quiet rebellion against a culture obsessed with visibility. See, for some people, silence is not emptiness, it's control. It's the power to choose what the world doesn't get to know. Because whether we admit it or not, social media has subtly reshaped how we define ourselves. It rewards display, it praises noise, and yet those who stay in the shadows are often the ones who see everything most clearly. They watch without needing to interrupt. They think before reacting. They analyze before judging. Psychologists have found something fascinating. People who refrain from posting frequently often score higher on traits like self-restraint, introspection, and emotional independence. They tend to be less influenced by social comparison and external validation. In other words, they aren't trying to prove who they are. They're trying to understand it. And in a world drowning in performances, that's rare. Because let's be honest, most of what we post is not just communication, it's identity crafting. It's an unconscious audition for belonging. Every caption, every photo, every status update says, "This is who I am. Do you approve?" But when you stop posting, something shifts. You begin to detach your worth from digital applause. You stop thinking in captions. You start experiencing moments for yourself again, instead of for a lens. And that's the secret psychology behind many people who don't post. They crave authenticity in a space where everything feels staged. They don't hate social media. They just can't find themselves in it anymore. It's not about being anti-technology or anti-social. It's about refusing to reduce your life into highlights. Because when you've seen how easy it is to manipulate perception, you start valuing what can't be posted. Silence, depth, imperfection, truth. For some, the decision not to post comes after a kind of emotional burnout. Maybe they once did share everything, until one day it stopped feeling real. They realized that every time they shared something beautiful, they felt an invisible pressure to keep outdoing it. They weren't living anymore, they were performing. So they quit, quietly, no announcement, just a slow disappearance from the feed. But here's what's often misunderstood. Not posting doesn't mean not feeling. It doesn't mean they don't care. It often means they care too much. About presence, about meaning, about protecting what's sacred. There's a concept in psychology called psychological ownership. It's the feeling that something belongs deeply to you. A thought, a memory, an experience. And when you post it, that sense of ownership fades just a little. The moment becomes shared property, open to judgment, misinterpretation, even mockery. So people who don't post are often guarding their sense of ownership over life itself. They keep their moments untouchable, private, pure. And maybe that's not sadness or withdrawal. Maybe it's a quiet kind of freedom. Because think about it. When was the last time you did something meaningful and didn't feel the urge to share it? When was the last time you laughed, cried, or achieved something and didn't immediately think of posting it online? That reflex, that need to display, is not natural, it's conditioned. It's the product of a decade of likes, shares, and dopamine loops training our brains to equate validation with value. And when someone steps outside that system, it can feel like rebellion. But it's also healing. They start rediscovering the simplicity of doing things for themselves again, cooking without photographing it.
Yeah, and all that jazz, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, statement of that. Damn, this nigga mystical, boy.
Ascension Parish deputies arrested Michael Tyler, also known as Mystical. He's facing several charges, including first-degree rape, domestic abuse, battery, and false imprisonment.
The woman claims she was raped, robbed, and held against her will by a man whose fame did not provide him any favors. Tonight, Mystical sits in the Ascension jail accused of charges that could put him away for life if he's convicted.
And my little babies, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry that things went the way they went. I'm sorry I broke down the way I did. And I want you to know that I'm sorry. I regret that. And
first at 6 o'clock, Mystical, a well-known rapper on the wrong side of the law tonight. His third rape arrest over the past 2 decades.
He didn't show the victim any sympathy, and he doesn't get any sympathy or special treatment.
Yeah, what happened to Mystical, dog?
By now, it's widely known that Mystical is no stranger to legal trouble. With a handful of charges, he is currently held without bail at Ascension Parish Prison. In this video, we'll break down what really went down in his cases and try to clear up any confusion. Stick around as we explore his run-ins with the law. Jump right in.
Debut beating boy band groups. Better let me know what the hell y'all won't do. Either keep up or you can't.
On July 3rd, 2002, Mystical placed a call to his 40-year-old hairstylist, asking her to meet up with him at his home in Baton Rouge to do his braids. This was just a cover, as Mystical had been suspecting financial misconduct from her, that she had been embezzling money. When she arrived, Mystical confronted her about the gaps in his bank account that amounted to $80,000. She started making up excuses, but they didn't add up. Mystical became really frustrated and threatened to report her to the police if she didn't speak. It was then that she admitted to cashing out unauthorized checks from him. She was doing this for personal reasons for Mystical's next move. Maybe he wanted to get her back. Maybe he saw it as an opportunity. He boxed her to 2 options. Either she was to have sex with him and call it even, or get reported for the embezzlement of. The woman reported complying out of fear of legal repercussions. Mystical then rang his 2 bodyguards, Leland Ellis and Carter, and told them to come over to the house. Mystical then commanded Ellis to tape him, having sex with her. But while the camera was turned off, reports say he got aggressive with her. When the camera rolled back on, Carter was getting involved, and she's seen performing. She felt violated. It was clear to the point that Mystical, with the help of his attorney, Gary Harvey, had to get her to sign an affidavit, which is a declaration that she consented to getting involved. This was a precautionary measure that came in handy.
I think I watched it.
On July 4th, she reported the incident. This was met by the signed affidavit. The woman, however, denied, saying she signed when she was in a state of confusion. Following these events, the police conducted a raid on Mystical's residence. They discovered the tape hidden in a safe. Subsequently, Mystical, along with his 2 bodyguards, Carter and Ellis, were arrested in connection to the incident. On Thursday, July 18th, Mystical was released on $250,000 and was to face mandatory life sentence in jail if convicted on the charge of aggravated rape. The extortion charges, which was basically the blackmail, carry a maximum sentence of 15 years. Mystical then got a new attorney, J. David Borland, who, after numerous meetings with the prosecutor, was able to whittle the charges down to sexual battery in exchange for a guilty plea. In early December 2003, David Borland filed a motion to retract Mystical's previous guilty plea to charges of sexual battery and no contest to extortion. The no contest to extortion meant that Mystical was neither admitting guilt nor contesting the charges. Essentially, it was a way for him to accept the punishment without officially admitting wrongdoing. The reason for this motion was the discovery that
Not local contender.
prosecutors had provided Judge Marabella with videotape of the alleged sexual assault. Mystical's lawyer felt that this new evidence could more negatively impact the case, leading him to seek the withdrawal of Mystical's guilty plea. As part of their negotiation, the prosecutor agreed the tape would remain sealed and would not be admitted in the case as evidence. However, the judge asked to see videotape. The prosecutor gave it to him to view. I cannot say in good faith the state deceived us, but there may have been a misunderstanding. They said they were not going to use the tape to increase the sentence. We took that to mean the tape would be held confidential forever. The state did not bring the tape up to the judge. He asked to see the tape before the sentence.
Out the bell! Cause that bitch gonna need it.
January 15th, 2004. Mystical was sentenced to a 6-year prison term for sexual battery against his hairstylist. The sentencing took into account Mystical's 2 prior arrests for drug and gun possession earlier in his career. Judge Anthony also required Mystical to register state as a sex offender. Under Louisiana state law, Mystical was to be eligible for parole after 2 years behind bars. The judge criticized Mystical's belief above the law. The plea deal spared him from a harsher sentence. Upon release, he was to face 5 years of probation with which, if he were to violate them, he would be going back in for up to 10 more years. Carter and Ellis also served 4 and 3 years respectively after pleading guilty. Surprisingly, Mystical's second legal trouble was as when he was in prison, he faced 2 misdemeanor counts of failing to file tax returns for 1998 and 1999. The court, however, allowed him to serve the 1-year federal sentence concurrent with his 6-year state sentence. This denied him parole rights that he had after 2 years. So he went on to be released in 2010. After this, he thought the worst was behind him, and it was time to focus on his career. 2 years later, he would be heading back to jail. February 22nd, 2012, Mystical got into a heated argument with his partner, leading to his arrest and a subsequent charge of domestic abuse battery, which basically means he used physical force or violence against her. The details of the argument are not provided, but this incident resulted in Mystical being detained for 9 days before being released on bail. Later, on April 16th, he faced legal repercussions for violating the terms of his probation. Mystical was sentenced to 3 months in jail, with credit given for the 9 days he had already served. This reduced his total confinement period to 81 days. He began serving his sentence on May 14th at East Baton Rouge Parish Jail. Around the time he left Cash Money Records, shortly after he would get arrested for another sexual assault in 2017. The story goes that on August 20th, 2017, Mystical with a bunch of other people were hanging out. It was a small party and they were having a good time. The alleged victim in the charge, let's call her Serene, kept on ditching her boyfriend because she wanted to hang out with Mystical.
Went to the show, we all had a good time. She was ditching her boyfriend. Be all up in hood ass and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Some innocent people about to go to jail for something that your boyfriend done said.
This angered her boyfriend, who in response reported a case of rape and kidnapping to the police the next day. A warrant for Mystical's arrest was issued, but Mystical turned himself in as he wanted to clear his name. He was subsequently charged with rape and held at the Caddo Correctional Center on a $3 million bond until February 14, 2019. Post bond. Serene, on the other hand, had further backed her boyfriend.
Wow.
However, after December 17th, rape charges.
Yeah, I mean, how's it feel?
It feels good. It's grateful. In tune, where you deteriorating, or it could be a cocoon where you it's a butterfly.
Alleged Serene and her pad ulterior, either attempting to Mystical for financial gain, or Serene supported her boyfriend's statement to shield him from potential consequences.
Only thing I did is made a phone call. to a friend. I asked her, was she okay? She said she was okay. But if you telling me that you all right and ain't nobody did nothing to you, then why send some innocent people to jail? So yeah, I'm going to say, well, you need to go up there and see what's going on and drop these charges because some innocent people about to go to jail for something that your boyfriend done said. Because if she got raped,
why she get an earring put right down the side of her mouth? Like she got.
This last time, fam, the chick lied to her dude, bro. Dude, they was trying to get some money. They kept pushing his court date back. Every 3 months, he come to court. They push it back 3 more months. She not showing up to court. She in jail. She got a whole bunch of charges from theft, lying, prostitution. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that, though. Like, the media just keep saying he a rapist.
After beating this case 8 bars, Mystical popularity soared. He got more love and trust from fans and critics alike. But all that was about to change. In July 31st, 2022, Mystical was arrested and faced a remarkable amount of charges. The story behind the charges was by far his most controversial. Not only did it involve his baby mama, but also the acts allegedly done in the.
First at 6 o'clock, Mystical, a well-known rapper on the wrong side of the law tonight, his third rape arrest over the past 2 decades.
I can't go again. I can't believe no baby mama shit. I don't know. I don't really see no serial rape going on with no baby mama.
I'm going to say this. That first time it came from the outside. That second time it came from the outside, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. I feel like he was getting his life right, and that could never come from the outside no more. His third time it came from the inside.
Mystical has 2 kids, Million and Michelle Tyler. The baby mama to his son, Million Tyler, publicly known, broke up with him a couple of years. The two had been co-parenting for over a decade. The woman showed up to his house unannounced on Saturday. Bear in mind, Mystical had a restraining order prior to their meeting. In their discussions, they had an argument after she asked him to. He was an adult about 20.
That's why she called the police, because he said no.
To walk away into the bathroom. He came back, he was a whole different person.
He said that he seemed fine when they were initially talking. At some point, he stepped away, maybe to the restroom, came back a completely different person. That was when he began to.
The warrant issued for his arrest the next day details Mystical aggravated. The woman had cuts, bruises on her arm, leg, face, mouth, and neck, and hair yanked from her. The warrant alleges Mystical punched her, pulled her braids from her head, took her phone and keys to prevent her from, choked her to the point she could not. However, Mystical's lawyers disagree. Say she made it all up when
he had a restraining order against this woman.
Oh.
He shows up unannounced, demanding $1,000 from him. And when he did not give her the $1,000, she said, "I'm going to say that you raped me," and that's what happened. I mean, this case is bogus.
What is interesting, when the deputies later found some of the home, as well as an earring, broken nail.
Right.
The woman
She
suffered
did. bruises
bruises and cuts, and some of her wounds were consistent with rape. Mystical was arrested and charged of false imprisonment, domestic abuse battery, strangulation, simple robbery, and drug charges. Mystical pleaded not guilty to all. The judge ruled to hold. The woman reported she.
About that decision is lengthy criminal history and the fact that the victim in this case said she felt like he would do it again.
Mystical is assured life in prison. Currently, he is behind trial. A couple of detail most people don't know. 3 weeks prior to the incident, another woman had told Mystical up. It was said the deputies were called to the clear why they didn't even speak to Mystical.
3 weeks ago, deputies were also called to Mystical Street after a man says a woman came to his door alleging she was beaten by the rapper.
Victim in this circumstance?
He is the victim.
Just like he was last time.
Well, that's it for Mystical criminal record. What do you guys think? He guilty, or is it just? Do comment down below and hit that subscribe button to never miss whenever we upload.
That's right. Got my dog. That trap lord.
Y'all, I think Ice Spice might be in trouble.
How poor is this Ice Spice tour that they rationing out chicken salad? That the production team is so tight that they rationing out chicken salad?
Just a few years ago, she was a viral phenomenon with cosigns from some of the biggest superstars in the music industry. But now, the entire world has turned against her, and Ice Spice's stock has crashed out. Is her career really already over? That's exactly why we're doing a full-scale breakdown on Ice Spice's rapid rise and her even faster fall off. How exactly did she go viral in the first place? Why did Ice Spice call Nicki Minaj delusional and ungrateful? And was Taylor Swift actually ever her friend? Or did she exploit Ice Spice for an insane PR opportunity? We've even dug through some of Ice Spice's leaked text messages to give you the full picture of her messiest fallout with two of her closest day one friends. Why are so many people in Ice's inner circle turning against her? Finally, we're gonna take a
How did this dude with his hair get the text message though? Where the hell he come from?
closer look at how Ice Spice's bad business moves helped destroy her reputation. Does she have any chance at a comeback? And is her beef with Cardi B about to be the final nail in Ice Spice's coffin?
She used to send me little like snippets and, you know, over iMessage and stuff. And I used to be like, damn, like, I just had a feeling that like this could really go somewhere.
Before the world knew her as Ice Spice, she was just a girl from the Bronx named Isis Gaston. In fact, Isis's early years sounded pretty normal, honestly. While she was growing up in New York, her dad hustled as an underground rapper. And Ice said that her dad's love of hip hop is what got her into rapping in the first place.
In the crib or on the way to school and everything, he would be on some, let me hear something, and always trying to like feel me, like push me to do something. And or like if I would tell him about girls that I didn't really put in school, he would be like, write a rap about them.
But the rapper who really inspired Ice Spice was none other than Nicki Minaj. Quote, when I saw Nicki, I was so mesmerized. She's the first female rapper that I seen. And ever since then, I was kind of set on what I wanted to be. Who knew that one day Ice Spice would damn near fumble everything by beefing with her idol? But we'll get back to that later. Ice's career really started to take off after she dropped out of college. That's when she linked up with Riot USA, a New York music producer who locked in to create Ice Spice's signature sound. If you heard any of Ice's music, you've probably also heard Riot's producer tag.
Stop playing with them, Riot.
But in August of 2022 is when Ice Spice and Riot USA blew the f up. After dropping their new single Munch, the whole damn industry lined up to show support. It also didn't hurt that Riot had deep family ties to the music industry. His dad, DJ Enough, worked as Biggie Smalls' road DJ, and he's been spinning records at Hot 97 for years. World Star premiered the Munch music video, and Drake tapped in to play the song on his radio station. Right away, Munch became a viral sensation. Munch went platinum while...
I know what it is, but it's just stupid. You're a munch.
Mainstream outlets started crediting Ice Spice with starting a sexy drill trend. By the end of the summer, Ice Spice had signed a label deal with 10K Projects that reportedly got her a $3 million payday. I mean, $3 million after going viral off one song? Not bad. Not bad at all. Just like that, Ice Spice had become overnight famous and a millionaire, all off of one song.
Not everybody gets to like actually make a hit. And even for me, I was just like, damn, I got a hit. Like, that's crazy.
But it didn't take long for things to get controversial. In February of 2023, Matt Healy, the lead singer for the 1985, made some pretty wild out-of-pocket comments about Ice Spice on a podcast.
She's like this rapper.
She's the rapper
that has
Spice. Inuit Spice Girl. Just this chubby Chinese lady.
Fans were pissed off. They accused Healy of being racist and trying to bully a new artist. Even crazier is that Ice Spice had previously said that she was a huge fan of his music.
I listen to alternative music. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't expect that. Yeah, shout out Coldplay, the 1975, obsessed with them.
During a concert in New Zealand 2 months later, Matt Healy told the crowd, quote, I don't want Ice Spice to think I'm a I love you, Ice Spice. But what made the situation way more complicated was that Healy was dating Taylor Swift, who is obviously the world's biggest pop star in the world. And her boyfriend saying some racist stuff about Ice Spice meant that Taylor was facing...
Yeah, I really don't. His name is Rap Lore. Rap Lore. Not to be confused with Trap Lord Ross. Where the hell do they be coming from?
Now, if you're online back in 2023, you probably remember the chaos surrounding Doja Cat. Every few weeks, she was trending for something, whether it was dissing her fans, shaving her eyebrows, live on Instagram, showing up to events painted head to toe in red, or dropping music videos that had people calling her demonic. The controversy was everywhere, and everyone had an opinion on it. But behind all the chaos, there was something deeper going on, because the more you look at it, especially in hindsight, the more it starts to feel like none of this was random. Maybe Doja Cat wasn't falling apart. Maybe she was breaking free of something. A few years ago, Doja Cat went from one of the most loved artists in pop to one of the most polarizing figures in music. After the massive success of songs like Say So and Woman, she found herself spiraling, both publicly and personally. But what no one really talks about is how all this might have been planned, because the more you look at it, the more it feels like Doja Cat's self-destruction wasn't a meltdown, it was a message. Was it chaos, control, or maybe a little bit of both? And more importantly, was it intentional? Most people were introduced to Doja Cat as this quirky, charismatic artist who could do it all. She could sing, rap, switch genres in an instant, and still keep that sense of humor that made her likable. But somewhere between the fame, the pressure, and the internet noise, something changed. Back in late 2021, we started seeing the early signs of something different, a shift in her behavior, her tone, and even how she interacted with fans. It was strange and erratic, but looking back now, maybe that was the beginning of a new era for Doja Cat. The first signs of Doja Cat's intentional self-destruction go back to late 2021. I actually made a video on it back then, and it was a story about when she went on Instagram Live and opened up about how unhappy she was with her time in the music industry.
I love fashion, I do. I really do. I love to dress up. I love all that. Do
But
I want to do that because I have to? No. But I feel pressured to do shit like that. I don't want to do that. I want to be home. I want to make music. I want to play video games.
At the time, Doja talked about how she was fed up with everything. The pressure, the interviews, the photo shoots, and the expectations
swap it out,
that came with fame. And even though she got a lot of support for being open about her struggles, she also faced heavy criticism from people calling her ungrateful. Essentially, it looked like she was going through a phase of burnout. She was one of the biggest new artists in the world at that point, constantly in the spotlight, dealing with the pressure of having to keep up the momentum she had built up. But that burnout eventually turned into something else. Because not long after that, Doja Cat made it clear that she was done trying to please everyone but herself. And that same image that made her successful was in the process of being broken down. It all came to a head in March 2022 during what's now known as the Paraguay incident. Doja Cat was scheduled to perform at the Asuncionico Festival in Paraguay, but that event got canceled because of extreme flooding and thunderstorms. And so Doja Cat didn't perform. And that's when everything started spiraling. After tweeting about her next show in Brazil, a fan replied, "Not a single photo in Paraguay, not a single tweet, not a single Instagram story. You made us empty." Doja responded saying, "I'm sorry." But when another fan posted a meme labeling her as public enemy number one, she replied, "I'm not sorry." And that one moment flipped everything. Within hours, Doja Cat's over party was trending. Fans accused her of being heartless, of ignoring people who waited outside her hotel in the storm. And some fans even spread a fake screenshot claiming that Doja Cat had liked a tweet mocking Paraguayans. And then came the tweet that blew everything up. "This shit ain't for me, so I'm out. Y'all take care." Doja Cat then
dropped the mic and got the hell on up out of
for
there.
a moment, it really looked like she wasn't really just having a bad week. She was collapsing.
I'll bring the camera back. It ended up going out.
By mid-2023, Doja Cat's relationship with her fans completely fell apart. At this point, it wasn't about burnout anymore. This was Doja Cat declaring war on
Dang. Mm. Cocaine. I mean, I'm sorry. Shouldn't have said that. I don't know that. Whoa. Hmm. I feel that. I feel that. This guy is smart. He gets it. I was gonna say, yeah. That's what did it. Good job, man. Well, these niggas not be knowing nothing, just be talking. They just be talking. They just be talking. All right, well, I'm tired, man. I'm hop on tomorrow, and we'll keep this thing going. You know, tonight. We'll keep this thing going. Yeah, my bad. My camera went out too, man. So, you know, it's cool. It's cool. Y'all be swell. See y'all in the morning by 9 o'clock.